Hello.
Hello.
How are you all?
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, dear. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Simon Technomatic. Happy birthday to you. How the hell are you all? It's really nice to see you. Thanks, Simon, for joining us on this very special day.
Yeah, I hope you've had an awesome day full of treats with, lots of Jacks in.
Jacks?
You know.
Oh, Jacks. Sorry, I thought you meant JDs.
No.
Jack,
well,
actual
that too.
Jacks.
You can mix Jacks and Jacks. What could go wrong?
Or maybe even the ancient child's game of Jacks.
Oh, yes. Very difficult.
So many Jacks.
Yeah.
That's exciting, isn't it? Anyway.
Hey, we've got a packed show for you tonight, and we're very excited because we're sharing something new again, which is quite unusual for us. So tonight...
Yeah, just wait for that to sort itself out. Yes, tonight on BOOcast number 41, I'll just put a picture in picture there.
Had some exciting news this month.
Yes. So, yeah, Katsen ex Hugo boss. We'll talk to you about that in a second.
Yeah.
And
Adam Neely on Suno. So I did a shout out on social media. Thank you to you guys who have watched this incredible video essay and shared your thoughts with us. We've got a few points we want to talk about that came up in it.
We're really interested in what you think as well.
So share your thoughts in the comments, and hopefully during Synth of the Month I can write them down and we'll add those to the conversation.
We've planned and everything.
Yeah.
and then there is a Synth of the Month.
Synth of the Month.
During which time we'll do it. And then we've got a world premiere of a brand new music video, which is going to be happening at the end of the show.
You'll hear more about that.
Basically, it's from
later.
the new album.
We'll tell them about it later.
Tell them about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear about it later.
I want to see those titles. I'm excited.
What titles? Oh, those titles.
Our titles.
The titles. Here come the titles. So all that's coming up on tonight's BOOcast number 41, which starts right now. Oh, yeah.
Are we in sync? We're
No.
inverse sine waving our heads.
Nice.
Do we cancel each other out?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Pure silence. Pure silence.
Well, for those of you who don't know who Katsen are, Chris had a great band before battery-operated orchestra became a thing called Katsen. They released one album.
I mean, you could
It's
actually say
Hertz.
that battery-operated orchestra is actually Katsen, just with a different singer. Because, it's my band, basically.
Yeah.
But at the end of...
2009, your album came out?
Yeah, 2009. I've been recording it since 2004 or something. And the very first thing that I recorded with Katsen was a cover version of the Passion song, German Film Star.
Oh, I love that song.
And that was like 2004, 2005.
The days of MySpace, right? You guys had a MySpace.
Yeah, so we had a MySpace. The band, I mean, it did quite well. It didn't really do very well. We didn't really play any gigs. We played one gig in Hastings, which is funny because that's where we live now. And then it kind of all fell apart.
Well, it did pretty well. It was 6th Music Album of the Week. And you were asked to play a lot of gigs.
Was it? I can't remember these things.
I remember these things for you.
Thank you.
You're doing yourself an injustice.
What I do know is we got
good.
signed to an independent label called the SPC, the Sheffield Phonographic Corporation, who then sub-signed it to Shelf Life in the States. So we were the album was released in two different forms by two different labels on both sides of the
Atlantic.
The Atlantic.
Yes.
And then basically, when we did a cover version of Where Nobody Can Find Us, which was one of the tracks from that, we got copyright struck. So I contacted the labels and said, look, I mean, can we just have this back, please? I want the rights back. And they kind of went, yeah, sure, because they didn't make a single penny out of it. Well, we made even less than they did, put it that way. A long story. But then at the end of, it was actually the week of the last BOOcast, I got a message from Donna, the previous singer, saying, "Oh, have you received? I've got this. Can I have your email address? Because I've changed my email address." We got a request to have it included in the Hugo Boss fall winter
catwalk show in Milan.
Catwalk show in Milan this year, and I was like, yeah, sure, because this kind of thing sort of happens sometimes, and it never really comes to anything. But lo and behold, it came to something, and I'll just show you a little bit of it. There it is. That's us. That's the song in the background, and I've just an interesting fact about this song. There they are. Look at them. Look at those clothes. Aren't they great? I wish they'd sent me some clothes. It's like a bunch of really stylish Germans on their way to work.
Yeah, very serious.
Really nice. Yeah. Anyway, fantastic. I don't know how
I like how
fade this out.
You notice them trying to pick up the pace for your cover. They're trying to walk in sync. It's quite a fast.
It is really nice
cover.
So anyway, that was I'm just fading that out by clicking the volume down myself. There should be a fader on here.
Very smooth.
There's no fader. Thank you, Atem. Thank you, Black Magic. Anyway, yeah, the original version of that is something like 124 BPM or 120. It might even be a bit slower. So they were all sort of sauntering, and then mine comes on. And it's 130 BPM, and you can see them all visibly going, pick up the pace.
It's great. Some of them really nail it. Some of them just can't quite get there. It's very riveting.
But that was really nice. I mean, it's funny when something you did like 18, 19, 21 years ago suddenly comes back and goes, hey, hello, somebody wants you. And so I wish they'd done it at the time, because I could have really done with that.
Well, and you made that song when you were just kind of starting with Katsen, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, literally, I didn't have a microphone.
Wow.
I just got a laptop. It was a Dell. I think it was a Pentium 4, and running Making Waves, and I didn't have a microphone. So what I did is I bought one of those little, you know, the little capsules. You if you take an old tape recorder apart, you get those little metal capsule condenser mics with just two solder blobs on it.
Where did you
Do you
get
know the ones
that
I mean?
from?
I bought it from Maplin.
Oh yeah, of course.
We
used to live near Tottenham Court Road.
Yeah, and then I stuck. That was before you were there.
Well, yeah.
And then I got a mini jack, and I just soldered the other end of it to this microphone, and it's wrapped up in electrical insulating tape, and just banged it into the mic in, and that's what the vocals were recorded on. It's funny because they asked me for a master WAV of it, and I went through and I got I pulled the stems. And my God, it's really bad quality. But there's an interesting lesson for us all. It doesn't really matter. Well, the quality is, if somebody likes what you're doing, then they're gonna like it. And
didn't you? Yeah. You sent them like a kind of a polished WAV, but they didn't. You think maybe they didn't use it because they didn't get it in time?
Yeah, possibly. But
it sounded great anyway, so you must have done a fair enough job on the original.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my phone stopped giving me email notifications.
Yeah.
So it was like I was literally on my way out of the house, and I looked at my phone, and it was like, what's this from 3 days ago? Can you send us the WAVs? They want to go with it. What? And I went, right, shit, and just ran in and went, right. And then it was a piece of digital archaeology I had to do. I had to find all the things, find the drives that were still working, put it together, and then I put it together, remixed it slightly, very, very slightly, just gave it a little polish, gave it a little bit of mastering just to go, come on, oomph it up, and then sent it off to them. Immediately checked and looked at the contract I'd signed, and it said the show was on that day. And I went, what? And then I looked on YouTube, and I went, it had already happened.
Oh my
God.
God.
I guess they can use it for other things. But I mean, isn't that amazing? We're all going on
Very
about
nice.
gear. I've got this really nice mic, and I've got this lovely stuff, and I've got all this, and it's like, look at this. There's something from 20 years ago which I literally threw together.
Yeah. It's really nice when that happens. It's nice how music has a long life. It's kind of what happened with our mystery annual bonus from the Netherlands playing Finish Line.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's even better because we don't know what that is.
We don't know what that's in. If you're ever in the Netherlands and you hear Finish Line on something, we got paid for that like two or three Christmases. Maybe it was just 2, but it was a very welcome bonus.
And quite a lot of money as well. Yeah. And we're like, what's this?
Yeah.
2 years and it didn't happen this year.
Then?
So it's all over. Well, looks like the party's over.
Oh, well. But hey, it could happen to you. It could happen to any old track. It's amazing. And
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
thing.
many of you have similar stories, very successful. I mean, I know Andy Kay. You've got the mother of all magically serendipitous stories.
Yeah, of sync, and well, he worked in TV music for very many years. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes.
I mean, it's not all right place, right time. It's also skill.
Yeah, I mean,
what is it?
Luck
is where
preparation meets
opportunity.
Something. Yeah,
I believe that.
And so, shall we just turn this into a self-help, motivational podcast, BOOcast thing?
Oh well, we're going to go on a dark journey now.
Oh dear, dark journeys. Let's go.
Not
I know
that
what this
dark.
is about.
So last BOOcast, we were talking about how Bandcamp has banned AI music on the platform, and we talked about AI a bit, and it was really interesting talking to you guys. And I think everybody wants a forum to talk about it. So straight after that, Adam Neely, the fantastic YouTube music educator and jazz musician, posted an incredible video essay. It's feature length. I think it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, about AI music, Suno, and the bad future.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
I mean, we love Adam Neely anyway. He's great. He does sort of live vlogs of like touring around, and I think there's a really good one where he does something like 50 gigs in a day or something.
Yeah.
And it's always a lot of fun. Clearly he knows what he's talking about, and he's not just some pundit who's just sprung up out of the ground out of nowhere. And believe me, I'd like to talk to you about people on the internet later on. Not you.
No, we will.
Not you, but oh my God. I mean, we love him and we trust him.
And so I put a shout out on social media to see if you guys had seen it and what your thoughts were. So I'm going to share some of your comments before we dive into the things that we want to share. And if you have other thoughts during this conversation, bung them into the chat and we'll share them at the end of the show. So first up, we got Gary G, who contacted us via Discord, and he had a lot to say about it, but he kind of concluded that I guess it can boil down to how you see yourself as an artist. If you're focused on succeeding in the industry at all costs, then yeah, incorporate AI. You'll have to. But there's still going to be a hell of a lot of people who care more about the craft, the personal meaning of their music, and getting to like-minded people at a grassroots level, etc. It's true. I
have an issue with that. I mean, it's true. I mean, you've got to do it or you won't succeed.
We're going to talk about that.
Are we?
Yeah.
I won't talk about it now then.
So yeah, there is a kind of story about how AI is inevitable, and that is covered. Adam Neely, he covers everything. So we'll talk about that later.
I mean, nuclear power was inevitable too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sales talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We also had, Stefan, thank you for mentioning at the top of the show that
just
you
saw it just now.
commented on our Substack. I didn't get a notification, so I'm just going to look at the whole thing here. I've bunged it in very quickly.
I can read this out for you.
Okay.
So, none of the music I purchase and enjoy are by so-called AI artists. The artists I follow have written, produced and performed their music themselves or in collaboration with other human beings. Of course, as a non-musician, I don't believe that for a second. I cannot know whether or not they have used AI at some point during the creative recording process, but I'm fairly certain that the music they released is not just prompted and generated artificially. If I heard a song that I thought was brilliant in every respect and then found out it was entirely AI generated, I would actually find it hard to enjoy it. Probably wouldn't play it at all. Now, I'm just going to pause there.
Yes.
That's interesting.
This has happened to me this week, actually.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's really interesting. So I listened to Gareth Jones's Dandelion radio show. It's great. Go check it out. They're all on Mixcloud, the latest episodes. He played us in the last one. So I thought,
okay.
Listen, he always plays a great mix of new music. And he played this track. I'm going to have to look up who the artist is. They're Austrian. And it was a sort of comedic metal track, melodic sort of orchestral metal track about...
Wait. Comedic, orchestral, melodic metal track.
Yeah.
I can hear the prompts. Can you?
Yeah, well, that's it. So I was kind of listening, and it was about the king and queen returning to Vienna and going, oh, look at all the tourists. And it was kind of like, yeah, that's funny. And I was like, God, it sounds really polished. Like, these guys must have been going for a while to sound this, slick and well produced. And I Googled it, and it's an AI project. It's a guy who writes all the lyrics, writes all the prompts, and it's a virtual band. And I had the exact same thing as you, Stefan, because I was kind of like mildly going, I wonder what this is. This is kind of funny. And it's not bad. The music's okay. But as soon as I knew, I was like, oh,
But again, it's just a bloody novelty. It's like, oh, that's quite funny.
It was.
That's kind of the response, isn't it?
And
If there's no human being behind it, ultimately, how can it possibly inspire you or fill you with awe or make you go, wow, that's amazing, or touch you, really?
Yeah.
It can vaguely impress you. You can kind of go, oh, that's quite funny.
And
Or, oh, that's impressive that it's done that.
Exactly what
But
it did.
that's
It was a vaguely impressive thing that made me laugh.
Didn't realise I'd be
It wasn't something that made me really moved.
I didn't realise I'd get so angry so quickly.
Wow. Should we read the second half
Let's
of
read the
Stefan's
second half.
comment?
Thanks, Stefan. Even though I know people that make music and used to spend a lot of time with them in the studios, I wouldn't claim to have more than just a very basic understanding of the whole process of recording and releasing music. However, seeing them at work really deepened my fascination and appreciation for music, as well as the enjoyment of discovering and listening to new bands and artists. Knowing that a song is made mainly or entirely by using AI takes all that away instantly. I totally agree. I do hope all platforms where you download or stream music will label AI music as such, allowing real music fans that actually care to choose where they spend their money. This is the crucial point. Label it. Same with GMO.
Yeah.
Same with everything.
Medicines,
Everything that's
informed
done.
choices.
Everything that's done on your behalf, without giving you the knowledge of what you're actually doing, it's so important.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of, I mean, I don't know if you believe in democracy. I'm not entirely sure that I do. But the idea that you can't make a decision without being fully informed, honestly informed, is absolutely true, whether you believe in democracy or not. But that's true.
And it's something they talk about in Adam Neely's documentary as well. The wonder you get from seeing a skilled musician be able to improvise and create, or the skill of their playing with their hands. It's something that you can never have with AI music. That wonderment at, wow, a human being did that. I could do that. That's possible.
This is it. I could do that. There's so many issues here. I mean, look. And this is the reason we're doing this, except maybe we're wrong. Maybe this is wrong, but I'd really like to hear your other alternative opinions about this. Or
it'd be interesting.
We talked about the impact, the amount of energy that is required to keep this thing going, the fact that it's being forced down our throats, the fact that we're being told it's inevitable. We're going to
talk.
Okay,
there's so many points, so we'd better move on.
I keep wanting to go there. Here's another one.
In fact, Gary G was saying I'm going to have to watch it again because he covers so much. And we did watch it a few times. But yeah, Crash of Moons Club commented on Facebook, I think, where he asks the AI music creators, what AI artists have inspired you, blows the whole thing open. And yeah, basically the answer to that question is he asked 3 questions to people who use Suno, this particular app. He's focusing on this particular app, Suno. And one of them is, what AI artists have inspired you? And they all say, I don't have any influences. I don't listen to any AI artists. I only listen to my own music.
Yeah. So this is an interesting fact as well. It's very solipsistic and quite narcissistic. And when I used to listen to my own music all the time as well, when I first started out, when it's a bit of a, oh my God, I did that. And you do a lot of listening to it. I find I don't do that anymore because now I spend so much more time making it and finishing it that at the end my ears are full and I kind of maybe have a few checks and then I hardly ever go back.
Well, so when you were listening with a review sort of mind, weren't you? You weren't just going, oh, that's a finished product, I'm just going to enjoy it. You were kind of
in the old days when I listened to all the time.
Yeah.
No,
you were just enjoying
thoroughly narcissistically.
High on the smell of your own farts.
Really high on the smell of my own farts. I absolutely adored it. I was going to say, I don't want to swear too much, but you know what I'm saying, right? But it's the
I don't know what you're going to say.
Have a little self-congratulatory moment.
I see. Okay, yeah.
but that's all kind of gone. I think that might be something to do with people that haven't been doing it for long.
Maybe.
It may not be inherently part of AI. It may be part of the fact that these people, by definition, are not musicians. And therefore, you remember when you made the transition from you wanted to be a musician, but you're not quite a musician. And it's this fascination with, well, how far have I got, how exciting. And when you do something that you think is good, it's like, wow, I'm going to really absorb that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same thing. So I'm giving that, but
there's some leeway there.
The benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
might not be specific to AI.
Okay, something he brought up was that AI music can't invent anything new.
This is a really good point.
Adam Neely said, human creativity can and does challenge the status quo. AI can't. If jazz music didn't exist, could you prompt Suno to create it? And Dr. Ethan Hine said this in an article that he wrote. He's an adjunct professor at NYU. No way could AI create 1980s rap if it was trained on 1970s pop.
Yeah, because the whole point about what he says about 1980s rap is that it suddenly removes parts that you would think are inherently part of music,
It's
like
totally
melody
left field.
and things, and then inserts things that you would never have thought of, like scratching and sampling. So there's something that doesn't. So if it hadn't, what is actually happening here, apart from the massive transfer of wealth into these companies' hands, is the freezing of reality at this point, or the intended freezing of everything. Yeah, and that could be what happens. I'm a big fan of the old cybernetics Posywid slogan, which is the purpose of a system is what it does. And if you know what that means, and if you're looking at what this thing will do, I don't think it will accelerate music production. I mean, it will in the short term, but it won't develop music faster, and it won't create more fulfilled musical journeys.
Especially when you consider so many of the greatest hits were created in a matter of hours or a day. You know,
damn right.
How much faster do you need it to be?
So one of the things that the Suno guy is talking about is it needs to democratize it and make it open to everyone.
Well,
and
yeah.
I said that last week
That
when I went to the.
Yeah.
I mean, just get a second-hand acoustic guitar.
Well,
I mean,
this is
that's
it.
what I used to do. If I wanted to make electronic music, I'd jam a 9-volt battery against it, and it sounded great. Right?
Yes. So
where are we going?
He quotes Rosie Nguyen. I never know how to pronounce that name. Nguyen, head of creator partnerships at Suno, says, I wanted to be a musician in 2008, but it required resources that a low-income family did not have. My parents couldn't afford to get me any instruments. They couldn't pay for music lessons. They couldn't get me into studios. I am beyond proud and honored to get to work at a company that is enabling music creation for everyone. For the 13-year-old kid in their bedroom who dreams of being a musician, you can be one. Now, it sounds really sweet and lovely.
So
like
in
you just want to
reference-
democratize access to music.
Well, except you need a computer to do it first.
And also, I would
and
argue...
you need to subscribe to Suno.
I would argue that... Or a phone. I would argue that not having access to music, one, doesn't stop you from making music.
I mean, the song that I got played on Hugo Boss, I literally bought a £1.50 microphone capsule and attached it to a £1.50 cable and plugged it into a £400 laptop.
And it was all free VSTs you were using,
It was a
right?
free VST. It's all VSTs. Can't remember what they were.
Yeah.
And like Adam Neely says, get a cracked copy of Fruity Loops. And
Like
start
everyone
there.
else did.
Like
yeah.
everyone else does.
And also, the thing about not having access to music and feeling like it's out of reach can actually make you strive harder for your goals. Free access kind of makes it meaningless. If it's easy to pick up, it's easy to drop.
Indeed. I mean, there's so many people at rather more privileged positions than perhaps some of us are, who I've go to drama school for a laugh, or they go to music school for a laugh, and it's like you could do this because it didn't cost you anything.
This is it. I mean,
it cost you. I mean, the fact that it costs such a lot of money doesn't mean anything to some people.
Yeah.
Therefore, they can do it and pick it up and drop it. So if you make something free, I get what you're saying. It's a kind of I remember when I first saw a piano and I wanted to play it. I was little, and the person whose house it was closed the lid. And didn't let me play it.
Rude.
And that kind of made me go, I want to know what that thing is.
Yeah, the secret. What's under the lid?
Yeah.
And to double down on this is I always wanted to learn piano as a kid, and we could never afford it. It's expensive learning piano, really expensive.
Yeah.
It takes long. It's worse than chiropractors.
Tell
right?
the people how you got your first PlayStation.
Oh, I won a competition at a garden centre.
Yeah.
With my sister and my dad, yeah. But, we didn't have the money for piano lessons, but I loved music and I wanted to do piano. So when I moved out of home when I was 16, I went to the library in Sydney, and and got sheet music out from the library, which I couldn't read, didn't know how to read. But my friend gave me an old Casio where the keys would light up and say what notes they were. And I laboriously went through and started learning the well-tempered clavier, which I can still barely play. But, you know, if you want to do it, you will find a way. And now, at age, you know, whatever I am, I'm finally getting piano lessons for the first time in my life. And it is so fulfilling. And yes, part of me is like, God, I wish I could have done this when I was a kid. But I don't wish I had access to Suno when I was a kid.
Let's just look at what Suno's saying. They're enabling music creation for everyone. Bollocks. That's not what they're doing at all. What are they valued at the moment? Is it 2 billion? 4 billion?
Something.
It's in the billions. Yeah? That money came from somewhere. Yeah?
I'm conscious that we're talking quite a lot. I can't look at your comments and share the screen at the same time, but we will be coming back to you guys. So we'll be looking for your thoughts on this. But yes, so that's the fallacy of AI makes music accessible for poor people. But there's another one.
You can see that we kind of know where we stand on this. So by all means, step in and say, that's a load of rubbish. You don't know what you're talking about.
Accept differing thoughts. And obviously we've talked amongst ourselves and gone, yeah, and agree. So really open to different thoughts on this whole thing because everyone's got a different experience.
So there's another part from the thing. If you haven't seen the Adam Neely documentary as well, I mean, there are some spoilers, kind of. But even if you think you've got it from here, go and watch it. Because
it's very well produced.
It's an hour and a half and it's thorough. And
yes.
It's great.
So Mikey Schulman is the founder of Suno, and he says that Suno learns just like a human does because it just gathers all this information and then synthesizes it into forming something new, in inverted commas. And Adam says, well, when you say a model learns like a human, it's like saying a submarine swims like a human. It's a category error because the scale of theft is so far beyond what a human could possibly do. It's theft on an inhuman scale. And I wanted to share that because it relates directly to what we were talking about in the last BOOcast when I shared a Ted Gioia quote from 1988 when he says, the computer composer's perfection no more reflects on the composer's art than the existence of motorboats affects our judgment of how difficult it is to swim across the English Channel. You can't compare machines to humans. They're just not the same.
Well, it's a scale issue, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard this. So what it does is this is the other thing. It's actual theft. It's taken actual like scraped the entire recorded history of human music illegally before they went, oh no, we're gonna batten down the hatches now. There's all kind of stuff going on. But that's what that is. It's theft. A person listening to music and being absorbing music and being touched by music and being in the position in live situations where music really touches you and developing a connection with music, that isn't the same as simply scraping the entire existence of music and chopping it into its appropriate parts and reassembling them. That is not the same thing at all.
No.
Apart from a scale issue, it's also completely wrong, I think, because it ain't the same thing.
Okay. Last fallacy, the one you want to talk about.
Stop saying fallacy.
Why?
Because it makes me think things are fallacy. That's a bit fallacy.
Well, last fallacy.
Boss of Suno's a bit fallacy, isn't it?
AI is inevitable. So, from how people are talking about this, Adam says, the AI is here. It is omnipresent in society and that we must adore it. And people who think otherwise are just being Luddites and they will be put in the dustbin of history. And I have to note, he shares these headlines and the top right one, AI is here and a quiet havoc has begun.
Quiet havoc.
I don't know if any of you have used ChatGPT or any of those programs. Of course I have. I've explored them. I've, tested this stuff out. What's it all about? It's new technology. This is what we do. It has a habit of saying a quiet revolution, a quiet havoc, a quiet thing. It just sounds like an AI headline right there, telling its own hype. But anyway.
Everything's turning to mush.
The point is, he says, the people who are pushing this narrative, of course, are the ones who have the most to gain financially from it.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. It's sales pitch. It's just a complete sales pitch.
Yeah.
And this is what happened with nuclear energy. There's a beautiful, you probably know this. It's footage of Alvin Weinberg, the inventor of the submarine intermediate pressurized water reactor, who basically sold his design, which was absolutely fine, and sold it to power companies because it was a very simple design, and then went on a massive campaign of telling people, we've effectively solved the energy crisis forever. What he didn't tell everyone was that when you scale these small submarine reactors up to huge scales, 3 Mile Island was one of these pressurized water reactors. In fact, I think all of the states' reactors are pressurized water reactors. Pressurized water reactors. Basically, you can't guarantee that they're safe, but you can't tell anyone that because you're on a sales pitch, right? Because that's what's happening. And this is exactly the same. And this is the thing that gets me. There's another part in the Adam Neely, I don't know if you're going to cover it, about the sort of futurist idea.
Yeah. But go on.
The whole thing is that these allegedly new ideas are actually very old, and they come back again and again and again, and they always end the same way. They always end up with you eventually realizing somebody made a hell of a lot of money out of basically poisoning this entire region, or someone made a hell of a lot of money out of stealing this from everyone, or someone made a hell of a lot of money. This is all that's happening. It's the condensation of wealth in the hands of fewer and fewer people.
Just like monorail in The Simpsons.
It's the monorail.
It's a tale as old as time.
Monorail.
But I love, so he's saying that this is an idea of it's called technological determinism, technology being seen as an unstoppable force of nature. And I really love, he gets this quote on, he says, so generative AI is not inevitable. It's only coming because people want it to. And he has Dr. Tressie McMillan Cottom, who's an author on, and she says, when people try to sell you on the idea that the future is already settled, it is because it is deeply unsettled.
Great.
Like, why would they need to say it's so great? Why would they need to sell us on it if it was so brilliant?
That's
Surely
wonderful.
we'd all just like go for it right away.
Well, you know about Technocracy Inc., right? Which was an early 1930s, 1920s, 1930s sort of political philosophical movement in the US, and it went on for a while, and it's still it's still there. They still exist. So it's a group of technocrats, scientists, technicians, technologists who believed, and frankly, it's very difficult not to agree with them at the moment, that politicians and the people that are running the world don't know what they're doing. Okay, this is probably true, but the idea is that you, instead of having those people in charge, you give the job to the technocrats, the scientists, and then that would lead to order and social control, and everything would be sorted out, and finally there would be no more chaos and horror in the world.
How has this gone historically?
Well, how has it gone? But it feels to me like a lot of this stuff is kind of technocracy.
Yeah, so let's get on to the futurism, techno-optimism and fascism section of the video. This is kind of the really brilliant comparison that Adam Neely draws between the futurists of like the 1930s and today. So do I have a screen? Not yet. So Mark Andreessen, who's the founder of Netscape, and venture capital firm A16Z, invested in Suno, released the Techno-Optimist Manifesto in 2023. A manifesto. He's quite a figure in tech land. He's like the Obi-Wan to Zuckerberg's.
Yeah, whatever they said.
Anyway, Andreessen uses the phrase techno-capital to describe the engine of perpetual material creation, growth, and abundance. He argues that technology and its relationship to free markets will solve all of humanity's problems.
There you go. Technocracy.
But in 1919, the Italian futurist Filippo Marinetti published another manifesto, the Manifesto of the Italian Fasces of Combat, better known today as the Fascist Manifesto. The futurist aligned with the fascists to create art in the service of a socio-political agenda. And Mark Andreessen and much of the Silicon Valley billionaire class have aligned themselves with ascendant right-wing populism in the United States, in much the same way as the futurists aligned themselves with Mussolini. Check out, this is Mark Andreessen's Techno-Optimist Manifesto. he quotes verbatim from the Futurist Manifesto, which was an earlier one from Filippo Marinetti.
Should just say this is lifted from Adam Neely's doc, and we're just using it to
Yeah,
illustrate that.
That's why I've got the
But
little
you can see it's the same.
watermark in the
It
left.
is the same.
Yes. And the motto of their movement is accelerate or die. That's great. Yeah. See how that goes for everybody.
Yeah. Like I said, the more modern and future thinking and accelerating and new these people try to project themselves as to get the funding from the people with the money, who generally are, let's face it, frankly, not intelligent enough to know that this is just a story.
Yeah.
And not only is it a story,
spin.
it's not a new story. This is an old story. It's just, I don't know if it's going to end well.
And I know it might seem like an overreaction on our part, like, oh, they aren't trying to take over the world. But, part of their techno-capitalist political project is the establishment of network states, which they are basically turning major cities in the United States into fiefdoms ruled by techno-capitalists. They're creating a parallel education system and a parallel government. And they talk openly about this because in their eyes, they're helping humanity and the future get better.
Well, there's all that talk about reality deficits. So for some people, the internet is quite boring and rubbish because they've got great lives. But for other people with less good lives, the internet is a massive step up.
It's a reality
really
privilege
it's
that
a reality,
we've got.
Yeah, reality privilege.
Yeah.
This is all just... okay. We need to know what you think.
Yes.
We need you to tell us what you think.
And I'm going to sum up.
Finished, are you?
I'm going to sum up Adam's closing statement. Maybe you could read it.
Is it long? I can't do Adam Neely's voice.
Well, I won't do it either. But basically, here's the conclusion from Adam Neely. After this extensive, brilliant, well thought out essay, you got to go watch it. And we are looking forward to hearing your opinions as well. He says, money that goes to Suno and these companies in the commercial generative AI space in music goes towards building this techno-capitalist idea of a parallel musical system, the same way that they are building parallel education systems and systems of government. After today, I no longer want to hear anybody make the comparison between generative AI in music and any of the other disruptive technologies in music.
Because the fascists, or at least the people that have taken great pains to show that they are indeed the spiritual successors to the Italian fascists, have selected their tool of wealth extraction and political coercion, and it isn't MIDI. You feel me? There is a clear right and wrong here. Whose side are you on?
Whose side are you on, indeed, yeah.
So
that's what we watched and took away from this amazing thing.
We can just say that, and not to blow our own trumpets or anything, this is all stuff that has already occurred to us many times over. And it was just great to see a mainstream YouTube person with a lot of followers, I don't know how much clout he's got, basically wrapping almost everything that's important about this issue up in a neat little bow. And it isn't just about the fact that musicians are going to be earning less, or it isn't just the fact that creativity is going to be reduced in importance. It's literally a political and philosophical black hole of horror.
Yeah.
This is what this is.
Yeah.
Because you follow this thing to its logical conclusion. It ain't a good place to go. And I don't care how funny these things are at all. Fight me. No, seriously. I mean, if you think we're wrong, I want to hear, because I'm really interested.
Well, I am too, and I think that's part of why this was so good to see, is because he really nails his colours to the mast. He says, whose side are you on? Because it is a bigger issue than just, I just use it for work to do this, and I've got to do it for my job to keep up. It's like all of the moral compromises we make have a larger effect.
It's not just that. It's the fact that there are fanboys. There are fanboys for all kinds of things. There's fanboys for AI, fanboys for Trump, fanboys for all this stuff. We've got, so the last video I did, fanboys for Behringer. Yeah.
Oh.
Now listen, I'm going to be completely agnostic on this particular subject, but because I released a video that went really very well last month, the Wasp video, it got so many views. I knew it would, because it's a Behringer video, and that's, a lot of people automatically swarm to it. Now, the amount of abuse and weird comments and stuff that came out of it where people were going, well, why do you think that's slightly concerning? And
Yeah,
I
what's
said,
the issue?
and I basically said, well, it's so cheap. It's like somebody walked up to you in a train station and offered you a Rolex for 50 quid. I mean, it makes you concerned. And he went, well, you're a conspiracy theorist, so I'm unsubscribing. You can go on, carry on doing that. This guy had a beard and he looked like he was in his 60s and he was from the States, and he's like obviously like the
old enough to know better.
The appearance of an intellectual. And he was a complete idiot. And you've had the same thing with the AI band, which you merely referenced in one of your comments. And they've just basically been attacking. And
Actually, I didn't mention it at the time, but a while ago I wrote a song about AI music using the badge of authenticity to kind of market itself and to give itself more gravitas than it has. And one of the artists I mentioned in the article, AI artist, she's a prompter. If it's a she, I don't know. But came at me, and then her fans came at me, and they were just like, "How they
disgusting!" And they were saying that, and it wasn't even a hit piece. It was literally just to illustrate something. And this is a real problem I have. I'm sorry, I'm getting quite heated. I had a bit of I'm not feeling very well again.
Yeah,
so boring. But I remember what George Smiley says in Tinker Tailor. He says, at the heart of every fanatic lies a secret doubt. And I think that's what we're seeing with these people that get incredibly defensive of their position with these things and won't listen.
Has to come from insecurity. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm sorry, I'll try not to get as worked up.
You won't actually punch anyone through the screen, will you?
Technology doesn't exist yet.
Thank goodness. Well, yeah, no, thanks. So we really do want to hear your thoughts on all of these issues, because I think people appreciate having a place to discuss it as well, because I know it gets polemic very quickly. There are the fans, and it is like people are like, well, if you don't take it on, you're a Luddite. And, we've explored using AI. We've explored as much as we can to find out about this topic. And it's less about the nitty-gritty of the tools, and it's more about the big picture of how this is affecting society, I think.
Amen. And now I've got another Behringer video for you.
Next month it's going to be a different company, but
it will be completely different. But as I said, I had ran into a bit of a hole, and I needed to do something. And Bridget has forbade me from telling you what I did.
Our secret method.
But I did something that is
instruments.
Almost ethically sound.
I think you spilled it in the last episode.
Did I? Anyway.
It's all right. It's Behringer. They won't. They don't mind.
Anyway, so okay. You get to see a picture of my old music teacher in primary school in this one. So that's something. All right. Synth of the month. Woo! Here we go, and we're gonna go and check your comments while this is going. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll calm down now. Whoop. The BOOcast synth of the month is the Behringer Octave CAT. I first saw an Octave CAT when I was 16. My school was closing down, and with it, the music department. And after the rooms had been emptied, something strange happened. It began filling up with synthesizers. First a DX7, then an SH101, a CZ101, a bunch of drum machines, an Octave CAT, and finally, Mr. Rhodes, my music teacher from primary school. I hadn't seen him since I was 8, but by now I was already obsessed with synthesizers. But I didn't know this little black and white synth, or anything about it. The Octave CAT first roared into existence in 1976, right smack in the middle of the first wave of portable performance synths. Built by tiny New York company Octave Electronics, the CAT was the brainchild of engineer Carmine Bonanno, who set out to offer musicians a powerful but more affordable alternative to expensive synths like the Minimoog and the ARP Odyssey. Bonanno designed the CAT from the ground up and went on to introduce the CAT SRM and SRM2, which added a duophonic keyboard, meaning two notes could be played simultaneously. Inevitably, the CAT was compared to the Odyssey, and ARP saw enough similarity between the CAT's duophonic keyboard and their design to threaten legal action. Octave showed ARP that its design actually predated ARP's patent on the keyboard circuit, and the dispute was sorted. Despite its short original production run, and the fact that Octave Electronics lacked the marketing clout of Moog and ARP, the Octave CAT found its way into the rigs of several influential artists, including Devo, OMD, The Chemical Brothers, Rod Argent, and Split Enz. Some have even hinted that the CAT might be a more versatile synth than the more famous Odyssey. Today, you can get virtual versions like this one from Cherry Audio, or for a little more cash, you can get this, the Behringer recreation of the CAT SRM2. It's certainly nice to have a physical CAT in the house, even if it's a small one. But is it going to be lap-friendly? Will it scratch? And will we need a litter tray? So this is the first time I've seen anything resembling a CAT since I was 16 years old. Oh, actually, that is a lie. I saw one at distance last year. It doesn't count because I didn't play it. But this is the Behringer recreation of the Octave CAT. And let's have a quick look at it. So there's a pitch bend on the left. Well, first of all, let's make this a bit less crazy. It has a propensity towards craziness, which is rather good. Let's turn all of these down. There we go, okay. So, pitch bend. Now, the first problem with the Behringer version of the CAT is all of these sliders are very short. Which is natural because it's quite small. In fact, interestingly enough, this is a little bit shorter than the other Behringer synths in this range. I haven't tried them all, but I did the Wasp, and I think it was pretty big. But this is, just for comparison's sake, this is the CAT, and this is the Cobol. I don't know if you can see, it's a good bit longer. Cobol's bigger. The CAT is a little bit smaller. And yeah, the sliders, they all work well, but they are quite small. They're on the small side. But then we have an octave shift switch, which goes 2 octaves down, 0, and 2 octaves up, which is exactly like the ARP Odyssey. And then we have a glide, which isn't actually appearing to work. Very odd. Well, I have no idea why that's doing that. Now it's working. Now it's working, okay. With the glide, we've just got a rate control. I'm not sure how it works with the polyphonic mode, because this thing is duophonic. We'll come to that. But as you saw, that didn't work at first. Now it does. Just checking it's still working. And then we have the LFO frequency, which is odd because the LFO frequency is here. This is a recreation of one of the final revisions of the Octave CAT, which had delayed LFO onset. Yeah, they're in opposite ends of the synth, which is it's not entirely intuitive, but there we go. That doesn't matter. So let's go back to oscillator 1. Let's have a saw. Straight into here. Let's look at the modulation, because the modulation is what this thing is all about, I think. Oscillator 1 at the top, we get frequency control. We got fine tune and coarse tune, which goes right down into the clicks and all the way up to into dogs land. But below this tuning and the keyboard control here, we've got these switches and these knobs. Now, these are all to do with modulation of some sort or another. So the first one we have is the LFO. Let's switch it to a sine wave. This is where we select the LFO waveform in here, and here, and here. Bring up the speed of the LFO a little bit, and we will apply some LFO to the pitch. I'm going to change that from saw to triangle. It's quite nice. So it's very, we can, it seems like we can get that subtle amount of LFO. That's a very subtle amount there. Because with some of these recreations, the subtleties are not easy to get hold of. I think knobs are easier to control at this scale than sliders are, but all the way up to there. But yeah, the nice thing we can do is LFO frequency here, all the way over here, LFO delay, we can add that. So we can... That was quite a long delay. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's bring it up a bit so we can hear it a bit more. So that's a really nice touch. Having the LFO delay there brings all those neon lights moments. That's more of a sawtooth. I was listening to this actually earlier on, literally it just arrived today, and this is the first play I've had with it. And listening to it through the monitor speakers, it was colossally huge, and it did some really nice things. We'll just rush through this soon so we can get to the fun bits. VCO1, we've got a saw, a triangle, and a pulse, which does this. As you can hear, I'll just turn the modulation off, and there's a sub as well. But in addition, we can also mix these waveforms together. Which is great for, you know, producing interesting timbres, but also because this thing goes down to the clicks, if we're using it as a modulator, which we can, so let's go to, over here, we can turn off the audio from VCO1. Now we can't hear anything, but if I bring up VCO2, bring those up, and if I modulate it from VCO1, slow it down, we've got an interesting LFO shape. So the VCO1 is now an LFO. It's actually still on keyboard control, so let's turn it off. So that's an interesting LFO right there, isn't it? I'm going to come to the filter later, but I'm actually getting a sore ear, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit. So there we've got all of these waveforms. And that's almost a sequence, isn't it? As I said, I haven't seen this since I was 16, so I'm not going to make a lot of sense, but I'm having a bit of fun. The envelopes, or rather, not both envelopes. We have an ADSR envelope and an AR envelope, just like on the Odyssey. But the ADSR can be triggered from the LFO. So if I put that to gated, switch the VCA to the ADSR envelope. Okay, that's not easy to sync up. If I change the pitch. Anyway, that gives us sort of an idea. It's possible to get some interesting sort of melodic stuff out of this thing. Maybe not quite like that. but yeah, that's useful, right? So that's VCO1 is modulating VCO2 just with its waveforms on low frequency. Let's speed them up. So it's a lot of fun, isn't it? These modulation sources here are brilliant. That's just listening to VCO2 being modulated by VCO1. But let's turn that all down again. We'll just listen to VCO1 again. I'll speed it up. As I showed you earlier, the pulse width when it's in DC, got manual and it goes through 0. We can also switch it to the sine wave on the LFO. At which point this becomes a depth knob. And you're going to hear that the LFO delay is working with the sine wave that's modulating pulse width. Let's turn that off. There we go. Let's bring the pitch down a bit. Take a bit less modulation there. Really nice, solid pulse width modulation and sub-octave. A la the Roland SH1. On the Roland SH1 we can mix these too. So it's great. The addition of this triangle is really nice. Sounds really solid and lovely, doesn't it? We can also get a square out of the LFO, which is unipolar. It's nice that it's unipolar because it's easy to tune. It goes a really long way. One of my favourites. It's the Casio VL1 sound. But we also have sample and hold. Now, sample and hold, again, this is quite similar to the Odyssey because down here we have the sample and hold selector here. From here, we can choose whether it's taking its signal to sample either from VCO1 or from noise. Oh yeah, we have noise as well. Quite nice noise. If we switch this to sample and hold and listen to something, just bring up the pitch. So we've got our computer noise, but it's not actually the proper old-fashioned, because we're using the triangle. And as we fade that out, obviously we don't hear it, but there won't be any modulation either. Let me just bring up the other oscillator. So there's no modulation. If I bring up the level of oscillator 1, switch that to... Turn off the audio from VCO1 so we can just hear its effect. And I just see what I did. I've still got the VCO1 modulation going on there. That sounded good though, didn't it? So there you go, computer noise, but we're not using noise into the sample and hold. We're using the triangle, producing that effect. If I change the pitch, it should change it a little bit as well. Yeah, you can hear that it's changed what's going on. So the interesting thing about inserting a periodic waveform into a sample and hold generator is it generates patterns rather than random notes because it's getting a regular cycle going through. So let's try the sub-octave. So this is a square waveform, so it should be more like 2 values. We've done this before with the Odyssey, haven't we? Bring them in. And we're getting some rather unusual effects here. It's like it's overloading the sample and hold unit when I bring too many up at full volume. Yeah, that's interesting. It kicks it over into error. Having watched several demos of this just to remind myself what this thing was like before it arrived, let's see if it's doing the problem which other people have spotted, which is this. When you switch it to noise into the sample and hold, we get errors. Well, that's interesting. Just gonna... Well, it seems to be working. Every other demo I've seen of this has shown this as misfiring and sending in extra notes where it shouldn't. Perhaps Behringer have fixed this. I'm just going to turn on VCO1 again. Well, that's great news. I was a bit worried about that problem coming up here. It seems to work here. So it's behaving as it should. Sample and hold is producing random, regularly sampled little notes. How lovely. Well, that's great news. Wow, well done, Behringer. You fixed it. And also, it's great. So all of these modulation sources are independently controllable, so we can control VCO1 separately from VCO2. And this is lovely because, okay, I'll modulate VCO1 and not VCO2. Let's also make VCO1 modulated by the ADSR envelope. That's 2 modulation sources into VCO1. Envelope and sample and hold. We've also got pulse width modulation. We did that already, didn't we? We can also modulate the pulse from either the sine from the LFO. And let's do that. Let's have the sine. So a lovely rich sound there. So now we've got the saw, the pulse, which has been modulated by the sine from the LFO. Sample and hold is modulating the pitch, and the envelope is modulating the pitch. Now, if we look over into VCO2 at the top, we've got sync. How lovely. And we've got 2 modes of sync. Now, I'm going to go straight to mode A. Pretty crazy sound. I think a lot of it's coming from the pulse width. Let's turn it off, actually. The sync working. It's sounding weirdly noisy. That's interesting. Let's try it in mode B. Mode B sounds smoother. That weird fighting with itself thing it's doing. A little bit unpredictable, but I'm enjoying it somewhat. In mode A, I read somewhere that it throws away half the waveform or something. And in mode B, it's standard, resetting VCO1 according to VCO2. Some anomalies here. I don't think they're deal breakers yet. Still on VCO1, sample and hold, square, sine into the pitch. Simultaneously, we can have either of the envelopes or VCO2 modulating VCO1. We haven't done that yet. Let's do that now. Are we still in sync mode? This is where we break out the word clangorous. And also, we can modulate VCO2 with VCO1. Aha! Let's do that. Oh, yeah. Ooh. We only have fine tune on VCO2, but to be having this much fun. Oh, this is so good. So just a little touch of modulation from the other oscillator. these really nice. No, I don't want to fall in love again. Oscillator 2 is basically a bit simpler than Oscillator 1. We've got a saw, a square, which is not pulse width modulatable, it's a square. And we've got a square sub. Let's bring all that down again. This is very like the Roland SH1 actually. The sort of structure of the gorgeous oscillator in the SH1, and here it is. It's sort of like this. Once again, we see two of the three modulation sources here. We've got sine from the LFO, square from the LFO. In fact, if we put two squares on at once, so we could have sine modulation for here and square modulation for here. With just these 5 switches, 5 knobs, these faders, it's really well designed, really lovely. Almost makes more sense than the Odyssey in some ways. I can see why ARP got octave into trouble. It's very, very similar. But is there a little bit more? Anyway, let's look at the filter. We've got a 24 dB filter controlled from these very small sliders. So let's just turn all that off. Actually, that's a lovely design feature. If you've got modulation going on, you know where to go. You go to one of these knobs. One of these knobs is on, and you're modulating something. You just go bang, and you can get straight back to simplicity when you need to, which I know is a thing we all need in these days. A little bit of simplicity, please. But 24 dB filter. Make it a little bit lower. Sounds very nice. Turn the keyboard control off. Bit noisy. Not complaining. Keyboard control, we'll play with that in a second, but yeah, that's opening the filter as you go up the keyboard. Let's have some Q. Goes very, very low indeed. Oh, that's feels like it's sort of 30 Hertz. I can't hear it, but I can still see it on the scope. It's, oh, that's impressive. That's an impressive bit of Q. Lovely. Now as Q goes up, level goes down a little bit. Apparently it's not just the low frequencies that go, however, it is all of them. Which means I can do a bit of my own level compensation here. Bring that down a bit. A really nice sounding filter. Above here, there's the little knobs there. We've got some modulation possibilities here. Let's do some. So there we go, we've got sample and hold. We can also modulate the filter with envelope 1, and we can switch envelope 1 into being gated. And I'm just going to switch the VCA to envelope 1. I'm also going to switch this to auto so I don't have to keep my finger on the key. Speed it up a little bit. So that's quite nice, isn't it? We can modulate from the sample and hold, which has been triggered by the clock. We're using noise and it's still working. I'm actually going to stop using noise though. I'm going to start using VCO1. And then we've got a pattern, which will change when I change the note, because VCO1's being triggered here. It's going up now. Very slowly. That's absolutely gorgeous. Once again, I'm getting carried away. I could also change the pattern by I'm going to take the Q down a little bit. Bring up the depth of filter modulation from the envelope. Bring down the keyboard control. That sounds really solid to me. Okay, this is impressing me about 60% more than I was expecting. I had to send one back because it was broken. The sub-octave was not tracking. And also there's interesting anomalies around the sync, which could appear that the thing is not working as it should. But actually, I think it's just the weirdness. And again, I haven't touched this thing for 40 years. Come on. Doesn't feel like that long. Anyway, 40 years ago, I played one of these. I'm getting the vibe back. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So yeah, the filter is great. It's modulatable by the LFO. You can select from sine, square or sample and hold, and simultaneously we can modulate it from the ADSR envelope or the AR envelope or VCO1. Oh, come on, let's do that. Oh, do you know what? I automatically thought that was cut off and that was resonance. It's not, is it? Let's go down here. Oh, yeah. Oh, listen, that's almost vowely. Wow. So, okay, we're now modulating the filter cutoff with VCO1, and because we can mix these waveforms together, we've got access to all kinds of different types of patterns here. Change the pitch. Oh, wow. That is vowly. We're still in sync. I didn't even notice. Oh, interesting. What's like if it's off? Oh dear. While we're here, we can play the filter because it does go to full self-oscillation. Let's just... I'm not sure if you have this up. Max, what does that do? Okay, turn that down a bit. One octave is there. Okay, so that was remarkably easy to tune, considering the knob is sort of, it's there. There isn't a 1 or a detent or anything. It's just like, it's sort of there, but you could use that as a third oscillator. What a lovely sound. Let's bring that down to here. I didn't think I was going to keep this. This time I've ignored this switch. Well, I haven't ignored it actually, because when you switch it off you can turn VCO1 into a really nice complex LFO like that. But there's another place you can go with this switch. Poly. Just like the Odyssey, you can play 2 notes at a time, and when you just play 1 note, both the VCOs line up under your finger. But when you play 2 notes, the left, sorry, carried away. The left plays VCO1 and the right plays VCO2. And once again, okay, here we go. The glide has stopped working. So I don't, the glide wasn't working then, now it is working. It feels like, okay, here's my thing. It sounds great. And all of these modulation possibilities, which were originally in the design of the CAT, so hats off to Octave or ARP or whoever was responsible for these ideas. Certainly in this particular configuration with all of these possibilities, definitely Octave CAT had these. It's here in the Behringer. Now, I've identified some problems, which, well, I mean, the glide is now working, but it wasn't working. So that makes one feel a bit, is this going to be okay in a couple of weeks? Because literally this is out of the box today. Sounds so sweet though, but you can see my concerns. It's just a bit of a, is that going to be all right? And also, okay, so on all the other demos I've seen, the sample and hold wasn't working because the noise going into the sample and hold circuit was causing it to mistrigger, but here it is working. I'm just going to put the sync back on. Sounds great. That sounds like it's working, which is lovely. But again, there's these little pieces of uncertainty. And the other thing is, it's great that it's so small, but it's also a bit difficult to do some of the things that you want to do in like some very subtle positioning of the envelopes, getting the LFO frequency exactly right, which I will come to because this is a very important thing to bear in mind if you're considering getting one of these. One of my favourite, well, you've already seen it, I did it in the intro, I'm going to do it again. Trigger the ADSR. Bring up the modulation, sample and hold into the filter. Glide still working. Modulate the modulator with VCO2. Come on, that's great, isn't it? So it sounds great. Up here we've got some Euro-rackable sort of things. We've got outputs. We've got keyboard CV output, which is weird. It doesn't have a keyboard, but that's life. Gate out, ADSR out, and AR out. Power light. We've got inputs, VCO1 CV, great. And a gate input, great. VCO2CV, great. Filter cutoff, great. Filter Q, bloody excellent. External audio in, brilliant. VCA, control voltage, what's missing? This LFO is triggering all this modulation, it's also triggering the envelopes, and it's making this magic happen. But we can't trigger the LFO. We can't sync the LFO. The LFO doesn't even re-trigger on key press when you have it on auto. It's running at its own speed and it's not syncable to anything. So this thing is a standalone machine. You're going to have to try and get that LFO in sync with anything else you're doing. And you know what? Good luck with that. Because this... Sorry, that sounds great though. This little fader is so small, it's difficult to get it exactly right. But anyway, what do you think? Should it live with us? Or should it go back? What do you think? I'm getting carried away again. That was the Behringer CAT, a recreation of the octave CAT from the late 70s up to the 80s, early 80s. A beautiful, beautiful synthesizer in its own right, and a great recreation. One or two missing features and a little bit of uncertainty around how reliable it might be, just from my own personal experience, but if it lasts, I think it sounds absolutely wonderful. Obviously we've got MIDI and MIDI through, which you never had on the original. Maybe we can get around the problem we have with the syncing of this LFO. Let's do it. Thanks for watching. Okay, that's quite enough of that.
Milky agreed at the end.
What?
The twitchiest 20mm throw faders in the world.
Yeah, it's really difficult to get the thing working. And like, you know, it's basic. It's like an Odyssey, but it's the Odyssey can re-trigger on its LFOs on key press, and it makes it really useful. You can get that really staccato, rhythmic stuff happening. But yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry it was so long. Oh, crikey, I'm still wearing my crazy glasses.
You're wearing your double goggles.
This is what I have to wear to be able to see the screen.
It's Chris's secret powers revealed.
These are reading glasses and these are my distance glasses. But weirdly, you put them together and suddenly I can see anything.
I think we should take you to an optometrist.
Yeah. Or the vet.
Yeah.
I've calmed down now, by the way.
Yeah, we've settled down. Technomedic said take a Valium.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, it's all very intense. But a few comments on the synth of the month. The black cat sounds like a yellow wasp. It's just a paint job, said Photox Burnell. It was tricky.
Doesn't really sound the same, but I get your thing.
They're pretty close looking as well. They're the same.
Well, they're the same as all the Behringer
profile.
stuff in that sort of. They're in that form factor.
Yeah.
The filter is quite different.
Could you pick between them?
Absolutely, of course I could.
Which would you?
Oh, which would I
Out
go
of
for?
the wasp or the cat?
Oh, that's a good point.
Insect or
I
mammal?
don't know. Insect or mammal?
They do different things.
Insect.
Yeah?
I think so. It's just got. I mean, the cat is great. I mean, okay, we can talk about the original as well, not just the copies.
Okay.
The cat is absolutely great. That mixable waveforms becoming a modulator is brilliant. Especially there's a sub included there as well. There's a sub in both of the VCOs. So you add a sub into a square, you've got a pattern. You've got a waveform that's got that. Anyway, I don't know. I can't choose.
It's very hard. They're both amazing.
My chair just broke.
Oh.
My foot's stuck in it. Hold on.
It's a cheap chair.
I'm all right.
We're both on saddle chairs, but we're in such a small space we can't actually sit on them properly. So we're perched
see what
like
a saddle
little
chair
birds.
looks like.
They're better for your
Weird.
back. Anyway, Wagyu says they fixed the noise into sample and hold issue. It was with early versions, and they shared a mod for fixing existing cats.
Okay,
apparently.
thanks, Wagyu. Thanks for clearing that up. Because I saw a lot of reviews of it earlier. Because I'm going, let's see what other people make of it. That was a real worry. So kudos to Behringer, but they fixed that, so that's good.
KB5 says I should be copying these patches to my cat.
Okay.
Good, excellent.
Hopefully,
Glad
you
it's
mean
useful.
your synthesizer cat, not your cat.
Yes. We had a lot of talk about all the AI stuff I want to share.
So
what
this
people
is the
said.
reason we put such a long synth of the month, is we really wanted to look at what you were saying.
Yeah.
And so what have we got?
Well, first of all, Wally World said, I have a friend who writes good lyrics but cannot make the music. How does everyone feel about him using AI to make the song from the lyrics? And people had various thoughts, but they kind of went with, his advice was, use the output as sort of a demo to then find real people to work with.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah, try and meet other people you can work with. And Peter Coit made the point, there are many artists that have employees using factories and mechanical reproduction, so the end product may work. But then with AI, there's fakery, tech bros, data farming, and the environmental impact to consider.
If you're going to be using a phone, there are plenty of apps that you can sing into, and they'll quantize it and turn it into musical instrument sounds, and that's pre-AI type things. So you could do a backing track like that.
Yeah.
A really simple, basic one, and do your own sketch and decide, literally shape it yourself. I mean, you've had to. We've both been in positions where we've been forced to use AI, and the amount of iterating you have to do to get close to what you want is ridiculous, and you end up being sort of the nanny of this bloody thing that's supposed to be absolutely amazing. Because if you actually have an end result in mind, or if your job depends on it, you're going to be basically editing the AI, doing the job. Doing the job yourself, ultimately, I believe, would be more fulfilling and quicker and more precise.
Yeah, and if you're only doing lyrics and you have like absolutely zero musical imaginings, first of all, I find that hard to imagine, because if you want to write poet lyrics, you have some musical sensibility about the rhythm and the cadence and the flow of words and what would go well with that. And granted, you might not have the musical discipline for it, but work with a partner. I mean, come on, Elton John, Bernie Taupin.
The other thing is, sorry, I went blank there because you said Elton John. The other thing is that, if you, just because you think you don't know about music, who's to say that when you start making your own stuff, you may just discover something that no one's ever done before, because rather than trying to copy something that you've heard to make it sound acceptable,
we very much come from the DIY punk school of things, do it yourself.
It's just honest human creativity. It's like kids sing and go blah, 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 make noises like, wave their heads around and get Doppler effects and stuff.
Yeah.
All of that is completely valid.
Yep. Peter Coit also shared, Ben Jordan's got a video about AI data centers causing sickness from subsonics and other toxins. I haven't seen that.
Ultra low frequencies.
Gonna have to watch that. Ben Jordan is also a great sort of music education YouTuber and synth musician.
Well, I think we all know.
Well, you guys. But I haven't seen it. So
is it Ben Tandy or Reg Tandy? Gary I can't remember. There's a guy called Tandy.
These are all 1970s names.
His name was Tandy, which is just, you got to love him, right?
Yeah.
Tandy. I used to love Tandy. He on the Ghosts on the Underground, he talks about ultra low frequencies, things below 20 hertz, having the effects on your eyes. So you think you see ghosts and you have sort of vaguely clammy, unpleasant feelings. And it could
become unsettled.
Because the low frequencies coming from various industrial activities can be quite speaking of industrial activities, we watched the Channel 4 documentary about
Dirty Business,
called Dirty Business, about privatization of water. If any of you haven't seen that, I recommend you go and look at that, because it kind of sums this whole thing up. Because they talk about, first of all, Thames Water, which was bought by an Australian investment bank called Macquarie. It basically pulled out £12 billion in funds from it for themselves and then ran off, and in the meantime didn't do any building or anything. And then they're saying, the reason it's falling apart is because the entire system's Victorian, which is a complete lie.
And because of the cuts, which is also a lie.
But the bottom line of this whole thing is that these companies, they might claim to be running the water, but what they're doing is making money for themselves, because that's their job. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And we don't
at their
matter.
mercy.
We don't matter.
No.
You can complain all you like, but they just go, ha ha, and run off. And it's like, anyway, just a sidebar.
Very good things to watch. Nicholas Bryant, Bonsai Sequoias. AI is even taking income from music creators. Today I was in a shop and something was odd about the music. After listening for a while, I'm sure it was AI generated.
Completely. I mean, this is so music for videos, catalog music, Muzak, all that stuff, all those websites where you upload your background music that people use. Yeah, that's gonna go, right?
Yeah, well,
I mean, that's an income. For
all the stock libraries are facing the same challenge. And like iStock, for instance, and Getty and stuff. I mean, they're huge monopolists in the field. But yeah, Envato has just leaned right into AI. Just use AI to create your stock images.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I hate ukuleles clapping and whistling as much as the next man. And corporate music makes me want to just...
That ding, 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 ding. Post-traumatic.
Invest in water. It's the future.
Yeah.
The future you can drink.
Choking on the water.
Yeah.
Wagyu said, I played around with Sonorto this week just for my own amusement. Snorto. I haven't heard of this one.
But Wagyu, you sure want to share this with everyone? You've been snortoing.
Well, he created a Manic Street Preachers song about my mate and I watching Bullseye. But to be honest...
Why did you do that,
just
Wagyu?
for fun.
Okay.
But he says, to be honest, it was scarily good and it's only going to get better. But... it's never going to replace finding out about the people behind the music you love and the live experience.
Damn right. Did you win a yacht, by the way, Wagyu? Anyway, that's
the thing.
Point.
Like whenever I discover music that I love, like I just have to find more about the people. Like, how did this erupt into the world? What were the circumstances of the creation of this brilliant thing?
Well, I don't know how much vinyl you've had in your life at all. Maybe not a great deal because of
a bit.
But I mean, it's what you spend your time doing, reading and looking at the back of the label.
It's great.
Who produced it? Who's doing this? What's used on it? And all that stuff.
I guess we've always been music nerds. I know there are people out there who just hear stuff and it just washes over them, but when I hear something, I'm just like, I got to know more. It's great. There's still albums I haven't heard.
You're insatiable.
I'm insatiable. And what else have we got? So many comments. Really good to see all your thoughts on this, guys. Thanks for engaging.
Has anyone absolutely disagreed with the whole vibe of what we were saying?
No, nobody has absolutely disagreed. So in
maybe
fact,
someone will disagree when this goes up.
Yeah, I think we might share this on YouTube and see what the wider internet thinks as well. But Moritz Schoenemann says everything AI sired was trained by unpaid humans' work. Really
Absolutely.
Good point.
Damn right, Moritz.
Gary G said KVR now have a dedicated forum for AI. There are some interesting viewpoints there.
So yeah, I haven't looked at KVR for a long time.
Yeah.
Good to know it's still going. It's where I got my free plugins, where I did my song that was used in the Hugo Boss show.
Yes.
Recently. Ladies and gentlemen, democratizing music.
Yeah.
Etc.
Peter Coit said, I have hope. There are plenty of youngsters rejecting AI, social media, and being online generally. At our festival at the weekend.
Awesome.
We missed. You had a festival. Brilliant.
Yes, congratulations. I saw some of that.
The SEMS Coastal Electronauts. Check out their Facebook. They've got great events every month in Whitstable.
Children are a future. Sorry about that.
Gary G says my daughter is 21. She's anti-AI budding artist and firmly in the pro-human creativity camp. Good work, Gary.
Marvellous.
And
well, good work, Gary's daughter.
Technomatic made a good point as well. Wish more would reject streaming services. They were the first wave of artistic cleansing.
Yes, this whole thing about you don't actually own any of the music. You just get to stream it. And when they switch it off, well, you don't get to stream it anymore. I mean,
yeah. And that it's like a tap that you can turn off and on. It devalues it so much. So much about streaming is wrong.
This is the thing. All of this crap is brought to us under the pretense of convenience.
This is exactly what I was just going to say. So Technomatic said, technocrats just offer so much convenience.
Right.
And I was like, that is the watchword.
Simon, did you say convenience? Did you say it like that? Okay, good.
He must have. Getting turkeys to vote for Christmas. It is. It's all like, and that's what was funny about the person who got so upset with you for having moral concerns with the cheapness of Behringer synths.
Yeah.
He called you a limousine liberal.
A limousine liberal.
For thinking.
Can you believe that?
There might be repercussions along the supply chain here.
Oh, there was a full stop there. For thinking. You're a limousine liberal.
Yeah.
I mean,
give me my convenience.
This is the thing. I refer you back to George Smiley. Every fanatic hides a secret doubt. And if you accidentally touch the nerve with someone that they're hiding from themselves, they're going to react badly. And I've seen it so much. This last month has been hilarious with comments and just having to
I think we should save them for the next show because we've hidden them now.
Well, there's going to be trouble in this.
They're funny.
I was careful. I wasn't careful. I didn't actually diss the cat very much because I did kind of get carried away with it because I was.
It's lovely.
Do you know what? I was expecting the wasp to be good because I love the wasp generally. And I didn't really remember the cat, and I thought it's going to be all right, but whatever. It's basically an odyssey, right? But then I surprised myself, and I thought, this is a lot better than I thought. And I forgot to say all the Behringer caveats.
Oh, that's all right. You said them in the Wasp video, so there's, people don't have any overlap.
Because people go back and
they watch everything.
No, they don't.
The completists.
No.
Oh yeah, good point though. In light of people should get off streaming. Peter Quote said, but it's a bit difficult to promote things to youngsters though without these services because society's become so dependent on them. I think there's hope here. I think yes, people are going offline. Maybe we'll see a resurgence of zines and stuff like and real people meeting in the real world and sharing information and sites that aren't social media websites, sites that have forums and communities that aren't. So there's an interesting thing. The industry at the top is saying, streaming's on the down. Nobody wants streaming anymore because it doesn't really connect you with your fans. And what?
Really?
Yeah. This is it. Everybody's using Laylo now. Go get on Laylo.
What's
Laylo is basically, it connects you directly with your fans. You can WhatsApp them. You can tell them about new drops of merch and when your gig's happening. And it does all of those things. But it costs quite a lot every month.
Is that Bandcamp?
Yeah. Well, and Bandcamp, Discord, mailing lists. It's a combination of all those things in one place.
And doing a live stream to all your fans. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yes, that is great, but this is just another tech company selling you an app, which is going to end up in shitified. It's already expensive. Imagine when the shitification happens.
I don't know if any of you were ever members of the Church of the Subgenius. I mean, I was in Brighton at the specific time when Bob Dobbs was literally everywhere. But Bob Dobbs' phrase is absolutely coming true. They'll steal the real thing and sell you back the fake.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
So, foster those mailing lists. I think that's the real thing. Just have as much control as possible over your interaction with human beings. No middlemen. Cut out the middleman. Jumping back to Katsen, Stefan Last says, I've got the full Katsen discography. Lucky you, Katsen. So I've got to share.
Really? All of it? Oh.
You can get It Hertz, the deluxe edition digital download is up there on Bandcamp.
And you know what? If you're a booster... there are 100 free codes there for you people that support us. And we're not going to scroll down because they're underneath there. But it's on the page for you.
It's a 2023 post, so you have to scroll right down through the messages to find it.
If you want to go back and listen to that, and it's great.
And Cyberblob said, nice Play for Today cover.
What? Oh,
Katsen.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
it is
right.
a nice cover.
Sorry, I temporarily forgot. Yes, thank you. Yes, that was never actually released. So I took the opportunity when I got the rights back from the label. I just went, I'm going to put this up on Bandcamp. and I'm going to stick some extra tracks in and some remixes. There's a couple of remixes.
right.
It's great. It's a really good album, actually.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Still proud of it.
I love it.
I'm also proud of the fact that, it's got some rough edges, and it's kind of,
It's alive,
well,
I think. Anyway, that's just one of the great things you get when you're a booster, which
hello.
are the wonderful people who subscribe to us for as little as £3 a month.
Is it that time?
It's that time.
Okay, hello.
So have a look at the Bandcamp. It's booelectric.bandcamp.com. And you get all sorts of goodies, not just the Katsen album. You get free downloads, including 15 unreleased EPs, stems, fan remixes.
And there will be more soon, because as we've already been telling you, we do have an album in the offing, and there are tracks falling by the wayside, not because they're bad, but because they just ain't going to make it in.
Yes.
So that EP count will go up at some stage soon.
Look at all that music.
There's a lot of EPs, and a lot of that stuff is really, we listen to those EPs in the car. And
I
it's
think
a
there's
good
a
thing.
song called Posywid in those EPs.
There may well be, yes.
Also, we've recently, since just before Christmas, started doing a radio show weekly called Radio Boo, where
Are you going to go to that? No?
No.
Okay.
I'm boinging on the scroll. I don't know where I am.
There
it is.
There's Radio
yeah,
Boo. So
Radio Boo.
we're up to number 13, and these are, they're normally half hour long, and we basically play music to each other. Try to surprise each other with the tracks.
They're also on the Patreon. So sorry.
And there is a Christmas show, which is an hour and a half of us just bleating on about Christmas.
Yeah.
If you can stand
if you don't want to be on Bandcamp, you can join us on Patreon. But the main thing is
Patreon, isn't it?
The boosters, after 6 months of subscribing, get the very coveted Boo Peter badge.
Yes, and I can barely contain myself, because this month we've been sending out 2 new proud recipients of the Boo Peter badge. No, we haven't sent them out. We sent the badges out
to them.
They're getting. So it's that time we all love. It's where we try to read out the names of the people who have supported us on Bandcamp or Patreon for 6 consecutive months and have won the most amazing thing in the world, the Boo Peter badge. I hope you're all wearing them, by the way. What?
Somewhere you can't see.
Oh, well, that's right. What? There's a pin
On
in
with
it.
the roll.
Okay, here we go.
The scroll of honor.
Yep. La. I'm so excited. There it is. It's glitterous. It's delightful.
That sounds so rude.
Sorry, it does. It's the booster badge holders
scroll of honor.
Let's turn that on. Andrew Kovaceski, hello.
Thank you, Stefan Last and Scuzzo. Thank you for rejoining us.
Scuzzo, welcome back. Ian J. Cole, James Newcomb, Craig Williams, Warren Harrison, Jeff Terranova, Sean Parsons,
Paul Mouchline, Adam Embry, Jeff Potter, and Andrew Van. Thank you.
Ian Heath, Paul Harkness, Jörg Schäffner, Tom Grimshaw, Pascal Aubrey. We should make a song of this.
Technomatic.
Happy birthday.
David Hill, Andrew Walford, Nick Haig, Gary Goldfinch, Ed Francie,
Andy Mayer, Rob Sloan, Ian Pass, Wagyu.
Simon
Thank
Goodwin,
you, Wagyu,
Neil Wharton, Andrew Loveland, Jerome Gorman, Michael Carker, No Labels Pulls,
Andrew Brooks, Andy McCree, hello.
Adrian Wright,
Reynold Van Grunen, Rich Cool, Evan D.B. Gray, Julian Edge, Zach Clerk, Christopher Miller, Miller,
Izzy Monkey, Red Glider, Tonin Peck, Steve Webb,
heart
Chris Mitchell, Peter Teller, Jeffrey Collins, Gary and Paula, Phil Dunbar, Peter Coyte, and Dots. Thank you.
And joining us this month, joining you all.
Welcome to Ben, Jerry, Bensonrad Robinson.
And welcome to Michael Bridge. Both of you.
We salute you.
We salute you completely. Yes.
Just adding those 2 names made the list that much tighter to read out in this short amount of time.
I'm looking forward to the day when we literally catch fire. Our mouths catch fire because of the speed of delivery.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your support. And it really, I know I go on about it, but it's just so good to have that there.
We know times are financially tight, so if you can't afford it, join us on our Discord. We talk about the show there, and we share your comments. If you like, for instance, Gary G shared his comment on the Adam Neely documentary in there, which we shared on the show. We can talk about gear, share music you're interested in, or your music and your events, remixes.
There's some beautiful remixes in there. Still trying to work out what we're going to do.
It's totally free to join in that regard.
Yeah.
So
if you got no cash, it's just as much fun as being a booster, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you miss
kind
out
of.
on quite a lot of stuff, but you get the community anyway. Communities.
Communities.
Okay.
Can't say the words. Anyway.
That should probably do us for a BOOcast, right?
Yeah, did we overrun a little bit?
Quite a lot, but I think we covered some valuable ground here as a team, and I'm feeling good about it. Everybody gets a promotion.
We covered some valuable ground here as
Am
a
I
team.
a therapist or a boss?
It sounds like you work for a water company. It's horrible.
Yeah. Oh, you got to watch that show.
Yeah, go and watch it.
We're going to share something brand new with you now, and it is a music video.
Yes, it's a
It is
music
a
video.
new song from the new album,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not releasing it as a single.
No.
We just wanted to share it with you guys because partly it's kicking something up our butt to keep getting this out and getting it finished because we're still busy with, work and lives and doing stuff, and it's hard to make time, and we're making time, and it's important. We're going to try and give you something every month.
What are you saying?
We'll see.
Is it too hard for us to make music?
No.
Do you think we need to use AI to finish the album? And
That's definitely not what I was saying.
on that bombshell, yes, I pronounced that correctly.
Well, we hope you enjoy this. This was really fun to make.
Yeah, this is. Shall I tell them what it's called?
Yeah.
This is called Bad Twin, and it's a world premiere.
Yeah.
And
Enjoy.
We're going to put the video up this week.
Wednesday, yeah.
So I know sometimes when we're streaming these live, we get some frame rate issues, so it might be a bit jerky. But if it is, don't worry. The real thing will go up in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But here we go. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you for being here, for all your wonderful thoughts and ideas and sharing with us. It's great.
Absolutely. And thank you for your patience with my rage.
It's past.
It's past now. I'm perfectly fine.
The red mist
I'm perfectly fine
descended.
now. Yeah. Cheerio, everyone. Take care.
Enjoy. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's not the noise, it's what you say. The reason that you cry out, you got me stuck inside your maze. Trying to cut my way out, your face and mine, your face and mine. Biting on the steel tube, but not sideblind. You sleep behind. Now I will take your breath away. Don't look down now. There's a monster there. You're turning on of life to grey. Stupid heads making hate sounds. I'm occupied when you invade. Continue watching love drown. I won't watch. I won't watch. I won't stop. Up here the air is so thin. Knife light that shows through my skin. You're my unwanted bad twin. Where I end, you begin.